We're in Phenix City right now in Alabama. When we cross that river, we're gonna be in Columbus, GA. Let's go for it, y'all. So here's a city I didn't like to begin with. Phenix City, Alabama, which is attached to Columbus, Georgia. Well, I didn't really like this city to begin with, and when I got home and found out that I had a ticket in the mail from this city, well, that didn't really help the situation. So when I make my top 10 worst places in Alabama, Phenix City was probably going to be on the list anyways. I might as well just push it to number 1. For a poor, broke, and miserable place, then they gotta fine people $100, $105 to be exact, which is fine. I'll pay it. When you think about what people get paid in this part of Alabama and how poor this area is, to think that they're preying on people, I barely blew the red light, y'all. Check this out, man. So as you can see on the other lane, there's another vehicle that's also making it across the intersection. It made it through the intersection in a few seconds before I did. I don't know if this light changes too quickly. I don't know what it is, but I didn't have a chance to stop. You can see right there that right when my wheel, the camera's in front of the vehicle. I have the mount right in front of the truck, so it didn't really give me a chance. I didn't have an opportunity, basically. I had no opportunity to stop in time. I don't know if the light changes too quickly from green to yellow to red, but there wasn't even a chance for me to hit the brakes. I mean, I think it's really predatory. You know, I mean, if I was like a second behind that, but it was like a fraction of a second, like when my wheel was over the line, the light turned. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and discuss that I didn't blow a red light. I did, but could they have delayed it a second? Did it have to be at that exact millisecond? It seems to me that it's a very predatory thing. It's not like I blew a red light, like discriminately putting people in danger. It was like you can see there were still cars coming from the other side. It seems really, really predatory, especially for a place as poor as this. In my opinion, I didn't even have a chance to change. I felt like I didn't even have, like, it changed from green to yellow to red so quickly that I didn't think it was fair. But there it is. I'll get you guys' opinion on what you guys think was the fair thing with that. Do you think it was too excessive? Do you think it has to be cut and dry? Yes, you blew the red light. I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. I mean, yes, I did blow the red light, but it wasn't like I went 2 or 3 seconds after it was red. It was like I was already in motion. I don't know. Let me get you guys' opinion on that. And, you know, from my understanding is yellow light means stop if you can. And I felt that in that circumstance, if I had slammed on the brakes, I didn't really, it would have just been impossible to slow down trucks. So now we're crossing into Georgia here. This bridge separates Georgia from Alabama. So we're now entering Georgia. I feel that it should have, you know, like, to me, that the vehicle was already there. Like, I don't know. I want to hear you guys' opinions. Did I blow the red light? Do you think it's predatory? Do you think it should be a few seconds delayed? I went ahead and I paid the fine because it's the easiest thing to do, but I just want to get you guys' opinions on whether that was too excessive. I felt like I didn't have a choice. Like, I didn't really... Like, this is and again, I'm not driving a Ferrari or a Mercedes-Benz, so if you drive a Mercedes-Benz or a Jaguar, when you slam on your brakes, the thing stops. This is a 2004 GMC 2500, that's about 7,000 pounds, so it doesn't just stop when you hit the brakes. Another thing that was the craziest thing of it all was I was still driving... you guys know I just moved to Alabama, right? So this is my welcome to Alabama. We were driving to Georgia because there's no Bank of America in Alabama. So that's why we're here in Georgia now, because there's a Bank of America in Columbus, Georgia. There's no Bank of America in Alabama, and we needed to go to the Bank of America so that we could finalize our closing on our house. So welcome to Alabama. Here's a $105 fine for blowing a red light. Well, anyways, the crazy thing is that ticket didn't get mailed to my new Alabama address. It was actually mailed back to Florida where I don't live anymore. So how did I find out? Usually you'll find out when they cancel your driver's license. But that's not how I found out. I was talking to my dad on the phone, and my dad mentions being near my old house. And I said, oh, why don't you check the mail and see if there's anything there? He checks the mail and he finds this ticket. Of course, when he said Phenix City, Alabama, I could already figure out what it was because I didn't do anything there, so I figured it had to be a ticket. Sure enough, it was a ticket. But what if Dad hadn't mentioned that he was near my house, my old house in Florida, and was able to check my mail? Guess what would have happened? I would have gotten my driver's license suspended. Because if you don't pay a ticket, usually your driver's license gets suspended. So this situation just about got my driver's license suspended if it wasn't for the mere chance that Dad happened to be there. So that was very disappointing. And we just moved. Moving is expensive, so that's $100 that we could have really used on 100 other things. So anyways, I just want to hear your opinion. Do you guys think that that light was kind of predatory? Do you think it was appropriate? Do you think it needs to be adjusted? I did send them their money, and I can guarantee you my anger for this place will include the #1 place as the worst place to live in Alabama. Not just because of that, because other lists already include Phenix City. If you go on the internet and look at the worst places to live in Alabama, Phenix City is already on top of their other people's list. So for me to just put it there again wouldn't really make that much of a difference. Why is it a horrible place other than the fact they gave me a ticket? Well, I'll tell you why. They're attached to Columbus, Georgia, which is what you're looking at here. This is the metropolitan area they're attached to. I'm going to be honest on this one. Columbus, Georgia has been one of my least favorite cities. And in fact, some of my subscribers also mentioned how they thought this was one of the worst cities I've been to. So not just me. If you go to the video of Columbus, Georgia, other subscribers will tell you how boring and just crappy of a town they think it is. And then you have all the people that used to live there and say stuff like, well, here is me doing another weird thing while driving. I thought these cars were stopped waiting for a light. Well, they weren't really waiting for a light. They were just parked on the road. Once I figured it out, I left. Well, anyways, Columbus, Georgia is a town where, if you look at my video, a lot of people say, wow, when I used to live there, these neighborhoods were amazing, and they've just gone to crap. So yeah, that's what my subscribers thought about the video. They said, wow, I'm really upset. I used to live here, and they're really upset at how much the neighborhoods have gone to crap. Well, let me tell you about this. We stayed in Columbus, Georgia, because there's actually like a 10% Latino or something like that. And I wanted my Latin food. There isn't really too much Latin food in Alabama other than Mexican food. I love Mexican food, but I also like Cuban, Puerto Rican. I mean, I'm coming from South Florida, so I went Jamaican, Cuban, Haitian, Puerto Rican, Dominican. That's the food I want. And there were a few restaurants that were Latino. So we walk into the first one. And the first one that we walk into here in Columbus, GA, was basically, it was so bad. It was like a buffet-style restaurant. There was nobody in the restaurant, not even workers. So we walked to the back, and eventually a worker came out, and they had like a buffet type of thing going on. And when you go to the buffet, and you can tell it was like yesterday's leftovers that they just reheated up. That's all they had. They wouldn't cook for us. They had a menu, but they said they only opened their menus like on Friday night or something. So you have to eat yesterday's leftovers. So we walked out. We walked into another Latin restaurant. And I think this one was, the first one was Puerto Rican. The second one was supposed to be like Cuban or Mexican or something. I can't remember. Walking to the next Latin restaurant. And again, they have the same buffet thing. In other words, you can't even order off the menu. They had a few more things there, but again, they didn't even have a menu you could order. They just have like pre-cooked meals, and it didn't look appetizing, and it smelled really bad in the restaurant. So we left that restaurant, went to another restaurant, and it was exactly the same thing. And then we decided, you know what? Even though we wanted to have Latin food, the Latin restaurants were so horrible in Columbus, Georgia, that we ate downtown at a place. What was it called? The Black Cavalcade? Was that it?
I think so.
the Black Cow or the Cow something, the Cow Poke. I don't remember. Something about a cow. It was downtown and it was good food. But man, this is the highest rated, one of the, apparently off Google reviews, the highest rated restaurant in the city, and it was nothing special. The building was kind of old, and it was nice because it was a nice setting, but there was nothing special to this restaurant. I can pretty much say if you're thinking about Phenix City, Alabama, or Columbus, Georgia, I would give you a solid no, don't do it. By the way, we did drive around the city a lot. The Latino neighborhood in this city is the most depressing Latino neighborhood community that I have seen, and I'm a Cuban, so just being honest and fair here, it's the most depressing Latino community, referring to Columbus, Georgia, the most depressing Latino community I have seen beyond Fort Pierce and Fort Myers, Florida. It's actually worse than Palm Beach Boulevard in Fort Myers. It's actually worse than Fort Pierce. Yeah, if you can imagine that. It's definitely the most depressing Latino district that I have seen. And if you read the comments from people who used to live in the city when it had better days, they'll tell you, and they're from there, it's their hometown, they'll tell you they're just depressed at how bad it looks. And that's just looking at the video. When you walk into the businesses and you smell how bad the restaurants smell, how they have nothing on their menus, and how they're just trying to sell you some reheated crap from the previous day. Very depressing situation in Columbus, Georgia. Now, not to talk down on the town or, beat up on the town, but when you go and you read the comments on the video from people that are from there, they'll tell you how disappointed they are in town. And frankly, our channel's characterized by being honest and by giving our honest opinions. And this is honestly one of the saddest towns I've been to, on par with Fort Pierce, Florida. The other thing, I had somebody go on to the video and mention, don't come to our hood or my hood. And you know what cracks me up about these comments? My reply was, do you pay rent or do you own your property? And if you own your property, do you own the entire neighborhood or do you just own a property? Most of the time, these people will say, you can't come to my hood. You're not welcome in my hood. Usually, these are people that are still paying rent or living in their mama's basement or with grandma or something, and then they want to claim the whole entire neighborhood for themselves, even though they're still paying rent or living with their mom or grandma. I asked the person, do you own your property at least? Because usually people who claim entire neighborhoods don't even own the bed they sleep on. Well, so I drove through this town and I did some videos, and I was hoping that I could do something positive for this community, but this community just wants to give me a fine. So what you gonna do? I mean, here's a YouTuber drives to your town, you give him a ticket, you expect a little bit of anger and frustration. I hope I'll never have to go to these two cities again, to be honest. The north side of Columbus might have better things going on. I did the central part of town, I did downtown, and I did the south side of town. To me, it was all junk. To be fair, the town does have, on the north side, appears to be a little bit better. And I guess, to each their own. There are some nice historic districts. I did a nice video of the historic districts, the historic homes, showing the nicer side of the historic district of town. So I did try to give the town a fair shot. But it's overall one of the most depressing areas. And I've said it already. I'm not talking down on Georgia, but what I've seen in Georgia so far, I really haven't liked it. If I had to pick between living in Florida, Alabama, and Georgia, I would say first Alabama, then Florida, probably about the same. Honestly, I'd rather live in Florida, but what we needed in our lives is to come to Alabama because it's more affordable. So I would say Florida and Alabama for me are good. I haven't liked what I've seen in Georgia so far. And Georgia was a place that I really admired, especially the city of Atlanta. But man, it's really changing and it's becoming something totally different. Gentrification has kind of stripped away Georgia's, at least Atlanta's, attraction that it had. And now a lot of these smaller towns, I think maybe a lot of people from these smaller towns are moving into Atlanta. I don't know what the deal is, but they're in bad shape. I do want to go to Moultrie, Georgia. I got a lot of friends that live there, and the town isn't. Another town it's in horrible shape, but at least they have two good restaurants that are Cuban. I think it's about a 4 to 5 hour drive from where I'm at in Alabama. But either way, South Georgia. I do like the southeast side of Georgia much better. The southeast side of Georgia, St. Mary's, Georgia, Kingsland. I really love that area. I mean, I've said it's a great area. But the southwest side of Georgia, man, I haven't liked it much. And I haven't even had restaurants that I like. None of and my other, if you look at my comments, my subscribers, a lot of them are saying the same thing. So I don't know what it is about this area that I just don't like it too much. And again, my subscribers can collaborate with their comments that there's just something about this area. It seems boring, missing life. I don't know what it is. And just not all these southern towns are great. A lot of these southern towns have just lost a lot of population. It's kind of like what happened in the Northeast. It's kind of happening in a lot of places in the South. And even in Southeast Georgia, once you get a little further inland to like Jessup and Woodbine, you start to see more of it. It's just along the Gulf Coast that's nice. And that area has really increased dramatically. Well, here's the Bank of America. The reason why we went to this town was to go to the Bank of America. So I hope you guys liked this rant. So please share your thoughts and opinions. And remember, guys, we can still be friends even if we don't agree. We don't have to agree on everything. But share your thoughts and comments on this video. And go figure, I didn't even upload this video. I recorded this video, yet I never even uploaded it. So I was like, I don't think who's going to want to watch this crap. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching.